In the game mechanic, that was something I mentioned earlier, where we need to fix where the direction of the mouse was going to face right to left when it bounces off the wall. We need to do that in Blender to change the character from facing left to right so that it faces right to left. We actually learned this in a previous character on how to do this the correct way. Otherwise, we'll have some shading issues and outline issues in Buildbox. The way that we're doing it is rotating it for this character. In Blender, make a duplicate of your separate objects for character 3.2 and rename this to rotated left. That way you know what this collection is. And I select the head and rotate it 180 degrees. You can type this in Blender. That will just snap into place, and then select the eyes. We don't really need to rotate this. We can just keep the eyes the way it is and just move it into place. Also, the nose, we need to shift over as well. That way it makes sense. We just need to align the eyes where it's facing correctly, similar to how it faced for the character facing left to right. Our textures are reversed for the head, and we need to fix that. Go to UV editing. We know we can move the UVs to the different locations in our texture so that it wraps nicely on our 3D mesh. That's what I did. Selected the top UV, which is now the front of the character, and moved it out of the way. Selected the bigger UV, scaled it down, and moved it up where the gray color is with no texture for the ears. For the bottom UV, scale this up so that it fits the new texture location. This one has the texture for the inner ears, whereas a darker charcoal color. That's pretty much how you fix your textures if you weren't familiar with this process. I've done it for character, I'm forgetting the character names now because there's so many of them. I've done it for the nose stash guy, which is character 1.4. I've also done it for character 2.2, which was Long Face Potamus. I think that was the character names. I know those are odd names. Those are names that I came up with, and that's what I remember. So that's what we're going with. If you need to refer to that process, you can check out those characters, character 1.4 or character 2.2, and also now character 3.2 for the rotation process in Blender for flipping your characters from left to right to left. They all have the similar process. If you want to see those videos, check it out. We also need to grab the rig for character 3.2. You can grab this from the original folder and just duplicate it and bring it over. I selected the meta rig and the rig and rotated it 180 degrees, moved it into place, making sure everything is aligned. Then I selected all the separate objects to join them because it's easier to parent the mesh and the rig together when everything is in one object. Select the head and shift select the rig. Press Ctrl P to parent with automatic weights. And that will parent your mesh and your rig together into one. You can just press play to see if the animation is working correctly. You don't need to redo your animation because it's reusing the animation that we already created. That's the usefulness of creating your own rigs and your own animations. You can always reuse it across characters that share this same rig. If I have another mouse character that has other parts to it, I can still use this rig and it will work perfectly fine for the idle animation. And since that works, now we need to create the outline, duplicate the head, rename it to head outline. In the vertex groups, add a group, rename it to outline, add the mask modifier, solidify modifier, check flip normals, check high quality normals, material index offset to 1, shell vertex group to outline, in the mask vertex group to outline. Move the solidify modifier above the mask modifier, change the thickness to whatever you like, add the second material, which is the outline material, and now you can see the outline. Just make sure the thickness is set to the same value, similar to your character when it was facing left to right. I decreased the thickness from 0.02 to 0.01. Select the rig, press A to select all, so that way it selects the rig and also your mesh and also the outline of the mesh. Go to File, Export. Your settings are usually set to the same settings for your character if you've already exported it before. If you need to know the settings, refer to my previous videos. I've explained that multiple times. Normally it's just check selected objects, armature, mesh, Z forward, uncheck add leaf bones, uncheck NLA strips, uncheck all actions, and it will export that FBX with the action that you selected. Make sure to name this file correctly so you know. That's why I added rotated left for character 3_2. Click export. This is our FBX that we're going to be using in Buildbox so that we can reverse the direction of the character.